Happy Hanukkah. Ha! I stole it from you.
Happy Hanukkah to you as well.
Yeah, right, comrade.
I don't like that.
Better get used to it.
Commodore.
Better get used to it.
Okay.
Today's verse of the day comes to you from the English Standard Version. We're in Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. There you go, Keaton. You're the light of the world.
Oh, thank you. Is that what the Bible is saying?
That's what Jesus is saying. Those are the words of Jesus. As he's talking to his followers, explaining to them that they're not to remain isolated, nor do they hide their faith in him or his teachings, but they're to proclaim it, which is, one of the reasons we do what we do here.
Mm-hmm. To proclaim, not hide.
Proclaim, not hide.
Mm-hmm.
Like in your business.
Yeah.
Like, through my business, occasionally I get the opportunity to talk to people about things like that, because we're talking about death anyway, since we're doing estate planning.
Where are you headed?
Yeah. It's like, this is nice, what we do with your stuff, but what are we going to do about you?
Mm-hmm.
So, you can make all kinds of plans.
What do you usually hear back from that if you mention that to people?
Well, in this neck of the
in our
woods,
area, yeah.
People are usually pretty straight on, and they got things figured out. But it's shocking to me how many people that are Christians, go to church all the time, but still in their heart of hearts somewhere they feel like they've got to perform, like there's some work that they have to do. Like, it's amazing how often you hear people say, "Well, I'm living right.
I'm a good person.
I'm a good person."
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you're not. Nobody's a good person.
Yeah.
No one is good. Jesus said that. Nobody's good. Why do you call me good? Nobody's good. Because the Nicodemus, I think, it was either Nicodemus or it was the rich young ruler came to him and said, "Good teacher." He's like, "What do you call me good? Nobody's good. Nobody's good but God." So anyway, you're all bad people. We're all bad people. We're all bad people.
Do you hear any I don't knows when you ask? You're like, "Oh, I hope so."
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I hope so.
And you say, "Well, would you like to know so?"
Yeah. You need to be sure about that.
So you just started a whole new semester at college.
I did.
How much you got left?
Hopefully like 2 or 3 semesters after this one.
Do they even talk about being a freshman, sophomore, junior anymore, or is it all just how many credit hours you got?
Well, I don't know. I think that I'm just old because when people ask me, I'm like, I'm a sophomore and a half, a junior. Mm-hmm. But then when younger people than me are asked, or I ask them, they're like, I'm a year 2, and I'm like, what?
Oh.
Use common terms
I'm in
for
my
brain.
second year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that.
And I have heard that more in the medical field, but it's kind of bridged its way over into other teaching as well.
In law school you were a 1L, a 2L, or a 3L, depending on which year you were in.
And see, it makes sense if it's in kind of a niche, It was, to me, when I was in the medical field and everything, that's what they did. It was, I'm a year 1, year 2, whatever, Well, but then now it just sounds weird when I'm talking to a marketing, and they're like, "Oh, I'm a year 2." I'm like,
well,
sophomore.
You think about the way undergraduate education, college has just gotten completely out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Some people finish their bachelor's degree in 3 years because they go summers and they take extra classes,
mm-hmm.
and some go for 7 years because they don't, and all that. It almost the idea of a 4-year degree kind of doesn't even exist anymore because it's just all.
Lots of people don't do it. Like they'll take an extra semester or 2 or something just because their life.
And even if you're involved in seeking a professional degree, a lot of times you've got like 3-2 programs and things like that. So it's all a little different. But. So what else is going on? You haven't been on the show this whole year.
This whole year. Nothing. I've been going to school, been going to work, and just doing work all the time.
So are you running any races? Or is it too cold?
We've got a race next month in February, and then we've got almost one every weekend from like March to July right now. I have some races coming up, hopefully. I'll have a 50-miler in May that I'm going to run.
Wow.
And then I'll have my first half Ironman in June, which I was supposed to do my first half Ironman last year, but it'll be this year now.
So is it all 3 events, you just do half the distance on them, or?
Yeah, half of an Ironman, yeah. Yep.
You don't it's like, I did the walking and half the swimming.
Yeah, you don't get to like pick and choose.
But I didn't do the bicycle. I'll do the bicycling and half the running part, and that's my half Ironman.
I'm a really good runner, so I'm going to just run this portion, and then I'll hop in the water for a little bit.
So I don't really know. What do you swim first?
Yeah, swim, bike, run.
I think that's smart. I think if you swam last, you'd kill some people.
You would kill some people.
Yeah.
So on that side, it's smart, but on the other side, I think it's probably the most difficult, besides safety-wise, because it would be difficult to run and bike and then swim.
Then have to swim.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd probably drown some folks.
Well, I mean, I've done a duathlon before in Florida in the summer, and it was like a 5-mile run and then a swim. And I mean, I got in the water, and I'm like, I can barely move, and I'm a good swimmer.
Yeah.
You know, I was hurting a lot.
I bet.
But it's a fun thing to do.
So we need folks out there to submit some T-shirt designs.
T-shirt designs.
We want some T-shirt designs. So if you've got a cool T-shirt idea, submit some T-shirt designs to K-ROG. We love our town. This is a great town. It's just every week I am impressed again with Rogersville and the guys doing the sports. I don't know if you've watched any of that, but they're doing a great job. They've got some folks getting on there and getting interviewed now after the show. And apparently, this is funny, they're getting into little turf wars with like radio stations show up to broadcast the games and like, who are you guys? You need to leave and give us your table.
K-ROG.
You're with K-ROG. They're getting into it with K-ROG. So it's like, and they're like, we're not going anywhere. And by the way, everybody here likes us better than you. We probably have more listeners than you do on these games. So support K-ROG because we're out there delivering it to you free and mostly commercial free for a lot of this stuff. We do have some sponsors, and we appreciate you paying attention to our sponsors. But we're your local folks. So if you want to see local games and stuff. Hey, Joe, you think that's what Joe's a radio guy? So, but they don't do any sports on his channel,
okay.
so he doesn't.
So he's safe.
He doesn't have any skin in the game on that. But yeah, it's true, Joe. We've had some of the local radio stations come out to broadcast games get mad at our guys because we're in their turf or something.
John's gonna have to start packing and use some of those military skills.
What do you mean start?
Yeah.
It's the wrong people to get into with us. It's like we're gonna win that battle.
Yeah.
Anyway,
if anything goes south in our country, K-ROG studio might be one of the safest places to go.
You know what? I think we're going to move.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
To where?
We're actually going to move down to the Enterprise Center. We're going to get like a couple of different rooms down there, set up just as studios. Yeah, so it'll be super nice.
Well, look at that. We're moving up in the world.
We don't know when that's going to happen, but that
moving down in the world, down the road.
That plan is kind of in the works potentially, so we'll see. It could be really cool.
Sweet.
Well, no.
And we're in the Resource Center studio right now.
We are in the Resource Center studio, and we'll have a Resource Center studio down there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we do appreciate our sponsors like the Resource Center and Sportsland Pickup Covers. So
Yep.
I love my Sportsland Pickup.
I know you do.
I'm a big fan.
He rubs it in every chance he gets.
I get admired. People are like, that's the coolest pickup cover. Where'd you get that? I'm like, I got that in my hometown. Manufactured right here in Rogersville, Missouri, and purchased right next door at Sports and Pickup Covers. And the swing cases.
Those swing cases. You can put whatever you want. You can put Kit Kats,
guns,
ammo, Skittles,
more guns,
more guns.
more
have
ammo.
guns in both of them.
And they lock.
Yeah, that is. Yep.
It's a nice feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's good stuff.
Well, hey, if you don't have good Wi-Fi at your house, in a year or so, you might have better Wi-Fi.
Really?
Thanks to Elon.
Yes.
Yeah, SpaceX launched 60 more satellites yesterday.
Can't wait.
If you can picture the globe and then a bunch of little satellites just covering the whole thing in a grid, that's what he's going for. They're all going to link up and then send,
Beam internet
Yeah.
access directly. to-
Scotty, beam me up.
And then
Yeah, they're gonna
Elon
beam
will
like-
control,
Then he'll control your Wi-Fi.
and maybe he can shut down Mark Zuckerberg.
That would be funny if he just everybody started using it. He's
It's
like,
like-
nope.
It's like Mecha Mark and Electro Elon in Godzilla style battle over the Earth.
That's what our shirt should be.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I don't think Elon's a bad guy.
I don't either.
I think that he
But
genuinely...
he's not a good guy because no one's good. We already talked about
You're right, but I don't think that he's genuinely out to get the rest of us weak little people with...
No, I don't either.
Little money.
I think he is. He seems to be, from all outside appearances, the epitome of an entrepreneur, which is there is a significant altruistic motivation in his business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course he makes profit. Of course he wants to make profit. But the best way to make profit is by serving the needs of the people.
Providing something we need.
If you find something that people need and you provide it in an appropriate way, like I do with Simple Trust,
Yep.
which you can find out more about at simple-trust.com, then you're going to serve people well and you're going to make money. And I see that was what Elon does with the Tesla and the flamethrower that he made, which is a necessary thing.
I think it's
necessary.
I really
and
tried to get
now
my
with
dad to
the
get one.
SpaceX internet service, I think it's really cool. So yeah. So what's the ETA on SpaceX internet?
I think I remember like 2023 or 2024 or something like that.
I'm going to need it sooner than that.
It would be nice to have it sooner than that. It is, he's the richest man in the world now.
Mm-hmm.
And for good reason. He's doing things that people either need or is just going to, add to the betterment of mankind, with solar energy and the electric cars and the Boring Company.
I'm waiting for him to come out with a replicator a la Star Trek.
That would be great, wouldn't
Lossless matter to energy conversion. That's the dream right there. That's what makes socialism work.
it? Everybody gets this, yeah.
Well, it does. I mean, people, every once in a while you run across somebody who's like, well, socialism works, just look at Star Trek. Like, well, first of all, that's fiction. Second of all, they've got unlimited matter to energy transfer, so they can virtually just look at their computer and request anything they want or need. Cheeseburger, Earl Grey, tea, hot, and it comes in the cup. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Why can't we do that?
So,
I was very amazed yesterday at work. I opened up an electronic that we sell, and there's these two little pieces that was holding the charging cord together, and the two little pieces were 3D printed. I could tell based on the layering of it. I was just very impressed that whatever, the company that makes this had figured out a way to, use 3D printing in a not profitable, but, they're not losing money on it, and it was probably cost saving to them to 3D print those pieces rather than use whatever they were prior. It's kind of neat to see.
The holster that I wear on a daily basis is 3D printed.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'll show it to you after the show. It's very cool.
Where'd you get it 3D printed?
There's a company. They're called the Naked Holsters is what they're called. And you can look at them up on the internet. But I got one and I was like, oh, this is really cool. The first time that I carried with it, I'd been out about 30 minutes and I thought, oh no, where's my gun?
Because it just lost feeling of it.
Yeah, because I can't even really feel that I'm carrying it. Now that I'm used to it, it's not such a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Is it polymer then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The 3D printed, but yeah, I'll show it to you after the show. So, anything else we want to talk about? We'll be back next week. This is going to be a Friday show until
we have a new president.
Keaton's schedule. We'll have another new president in 90 days. So we all know. Everybody knows.
So, if just a hypothetical situation, if a president were to ever resign, get impeached and then thrown out, die, whatever it may be, would there be another inauguration, or would you think they're just like sworn in and they're hopping and going?
Well, the last time that happened, it was Gerald Ford. I was alive, but I don't remember. But what I do remember is Lyndon Johnson. They shot Kennedy.
Yeah. He was sworn in on the plane.
On the plane.
Yeah.
There was not an inauguration. There was just like, let's get this thing done.
So I'm wondering if if there was like a more
I have a
official
suspicion
ceremony.
though that when Joe is gone and Kamala is anointed, that it will be done so with much pomp and circumstance and beasts with many faces. And
We're not going to bring up what she wore yesterday, but some of you might know.
And have cross-referenced it with the book of Revelation. Anyhow, well, your college schedule dictates we do this show on Fridays for the next few months, so that's when we'll be here. So put it on your calendar. Friday mornings, sometime between 7:45 and 8, we'll be doing our darndest to join you here from the Resource Center studios here in Rogersville. Had a lot of you watching this morning, so thank you for doing that. We really appreciate your support.
Like, comment, and subscribe, and I won't wear a shirt next time.
Okay.
Some people want